Welcome back and continuing in Romans 8, a really powerful chapter here to put wind in our sails in our Christian life. Sometimes it becomes a burden, I admit, for me, and I'm sure for you sometimes, and you need encouragement to continue to go on, and I think Romans 8 provides us with the basis of our Christian life and the application of how to live as a Christian, how to go on, and why we should do that. So hope you're enjoying this with me. We're going to be in Rome. Oh, one more thing I meant to tell you is thanks so much for those of you, and there's a growing number, who support this channel financially. I was just appreciative of that. It is an encouragement for me. And I pray and I thank you for the kind of the response that you give me through both prayer and through financial support. So thanks for that. It's been a while since I've thanked you, and that's my own fault. So let's go on here. We'll go to Romans 10. We'll move over to that screen. And it says, Paul writes this: if Christ is in you, so we're moving on to this section about, we went through a section about freedom or deliverance from the law. The next section was deliverance from spiritual death last time. This time, verses 10 and 11 is about deliverance from physical death. Here's what Paul writes: if the Spirit is in you, if Christ is in you, through the body, though the body is dead because of sin, yet the Spirit is alive because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he who raised Christ Jesus from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through the Spirit who dwells in you. Tremendous verses here. Important to remember that Christianity is a transformative faith. It changes us, and it's not just a spiritual change. It's a actual physical change that happens as well. Salvation is not just a spiritual reality that affects our inner man, but it is a physical reality that's going to affect our outer man as well. In the first century, there was a teaching that was starting to gain steam called Gnosticism. Gnosticism, what it did was separated the spirit and the body. And the Gnostic would say something like, I can do whatever I want with the body because the body is sinful and filthy and dirty and unspiritual. What I really need to do is care for my spirit. So for the Gnostic, they can engage in pagan worship, which included immoral sexual practices. They could do that as long as they kept their spirit clean, is what they're thinking. So everything spiritual was good. Everything physical was bad. That was the Gnostic belief. But Christianity bursts in and says, no, we're going to attend. The Lord cares about both your spirit and your body. He seeks your ultimate spiritual good, which is glorification, and your ultimate physical good, which, what Paul's talking about here, is resurrection. Resurrection. So our ultimate destiny, brothers and sisters, is for our body and our spirit to be reunited in heaven. And then we know at the last times we are going to return physically from heaven to a physical earth, which is going to be transformed. Paul's going to say later in this section that even the heavens are waiting expectantly for the Messiah, or the earth is waiting expectantly for the Messiah to come to release it from its corruption. The Lord wants to transform you spiritually and physically, and that's what Paul's talking about here. He who raised Christ Jesus from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies. What a comforting thought that he cares about all of me. He cares about my body and he cares about my spirit. Is that your experience of salvation? Let me just ask you that. Are you finding yourself functionally kind of a Gnostic, attending to spiritual things and disregarding to your body? You know, it's important that we eat not only a healthy spiritual diet, but a healthy physical diet. We discipline our spirits, but do we also discipline our bodies not to sin? Paul did. When you clothe your body, are you thinking about clothes that are modest, that are appropriate for a man or a woman of the Lord? Or are you thinking that you can get away because you're a Christian and you're forgiven? That is pagan thinking. That is unchristian thinking. And the Lord wants you to remember that he cares about both your spiritual and your physical self. That's what he's talking about here. So, brothers and sisters, I pray that you are experiencing at some level this whole salvation, all this salvation that comes to you from the Lord, a salvation of your spirit, regeneration of your spirit, and a future salvation and regeneration of your body. God bless you.